Hello and welcome to Dance Bants. I'm your host, and who am I? The next Australian Idol. And today I'm here with Caetlyn Watson. Caetlyn was born in Melbourne and grew up doing tap, jazz and ballet. She first visited LA when she was 15 years old, and over the years she's become one of Australia's most loved dancers. Her unique style of movement has seen her teach in 29 different countries, creating her own show Goddess for the Dream Dance Company, and most recently choreographing for Janet Jackson. Please welcome Caetlyn Watson.
Hey man.
Hey, what's going on?
I feel like this isn't close enough.
That's
Is
good.
that like a car?
Where are we?
We're at a doof.
A doof, like a bush doof?
Like a bush doof.
Yes. Choose your bleed.
Oops.
All right.
Oops.
The three big questions.
All right.
What do you reckon?
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, Caetlyn Watson, have you ever shat yourself?
I think so. I mean, I'm sure I have, but I don't have a very vivid memory of it. Have you?
Yeah.
Like recently?
Yeah, actually, for the third time recently.
Oh shit. I want the whole story.
Well, okay. Usually I don't ever tell my story, but well, I don't know how much it counts, but yeah,
Just
it
give
does.
us the short version.
Well, I was just in my bedroom and I was like,
Oops.
it stinks in here. Are you afraid of dying?
Not so much dying. I have a really strong fear of like being in immense pain. But not so much dying or not existing anymore. That doesn't scare me. But like dying in a really painful way, that's like my ultimate fear, I think.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is like terror. Like
Yeah,
being in like a
hectic.
plane that's like burning.
Yeah, right.
Plummeting to the ground.
Yeah, nah. Mine would be the crash at the end. Like,
Right.
I watch a lot of murder documentaries.
Yeah,
or like
like
crime, those like crime shows, and I love that. Oops. But
Yeah, right. You're a bit goth, eh?
I mean, I don't know.
Do you reckon?
Slightly.
Yeah, true.
Just a tiny bit, but yeah, I don't know. I like the psychology behind like, you know, murderers and that's
Right.
Oops. Sorry.
Yeah, nah, that's cool.
Okay, sick. Do you ever watch that stuff or not?
Nah, it freaks me out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Don't like that.
Got you. And like the whole story, like the anticipation of like, you know, finding out what actually happened and like,
right. Guessing.
yeah, it's
Getting
pretty
it
epic.
right.
It's
Yeah.
a journey. I don't want to be ever involved in that, but like it's cool watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Get
Yeah.
the segments out of the way. And I recently realised that I was like trying to do them off by heart and I'd forgotten like so many of the important questions. So I'm going to read them off this little piece of paper today.
Let's go.
Have you ever stolen something?
Yeah.
Can you speak another language?
Nah.
Would you work for free?
Yeah.
Do you have an enemy?
Nah.
Do you have a big secret?
Nah.
Do you play a musical instrument?
Nah.
Can you sing?
No, I wish.
Do you want to be... you kind of are famous.
I'm not famous.
You're heaps
And no,
famous.
I don't want to be famous.
Okay. True.
Yeah.
Big show or intimate informal showing?
Let's go intimate.
True.
Yeah. I'm
Ballet
sweating.
or jazz? Yeah, it's hot in here.
Oh, I like both too. I mean, my foundation's more in ballet, so maybe ballet.
Yeah, that's interesting. I got to ask you about that. Wiggles or high five?
High five.
Beginner tap or advanced tap?
Beginner, I suck at tap.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Matt Corby at Splendor in the Grass or Carols in the Domain?
I don't know what Carols in the Domain is.
Oh, I guess you're not a Sydney sider. What about,
Not
what do they
really.
call it? Carols by Candlelight in Melbourne?
Oh, yeah.
Like the one on the
Splendor
telly?
in the Grass, 100%.
Yeah or nah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Words or other words. Say the first word that comes into your head, and
my
we'll
God.
see if you have a murderer's psychology.
I suck at this.
It doesn't have to, you don't have to win.
I know. No. I mean, like, my brain doesn't really, like, work quickly like that.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, something will come into your head, hopefully.
Yeah.
Frogs.
Yeah, we'll see. Green.
Eat.
Wet.
Grow.
What?
Grow, like.
Tree.
Yeah, like that. Foot.
Yuck.
Nice.
Yum.
Time.
Lost.
Play.
Fun.
Smooth.
Cool.
Loud.
Hard.
Sick. That's it. That's words or other words.
Jesus.
And that's kind of all the segments except for Battle of the Bickies. Yes, it is the grand finale, and I know you've all been following with bated breath, so I don't even have to tell you. But today we are down to Chicken Crimpies versus Montes, and we can all rejoice that this competition will finally be over
Oh my
because it's
God.
actually the grand finale.
Oh, oops.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you have to choose who wins.
I mean, what are these?
They're Montes.
Yeah, I'm definitely like a chocolate bicky kind of person.
Yeah.
Not so, these are not it.
You're not into crimpies.
Nah, not
True.
nah.
Well, you can open them. if
Should we
you
just
like.
open both of them? Do you want those? Okay.
Oh,
I'm so sweaty. Like this.
yeah,
is-
it's hot in here, and I am hung over.
Yeah. Oops.
They're gonna melt for sure. Oi,
Yeah.
question:
Yeah.
how do you live your life with fake nails on? Because I tried to put some on the other day. I mean, they were Kmart ones, and so they come off. I guess they're they're like short. But
Yeah,
you
these
go
aren't
longer
very
than
long.
that?
Mm-mm. They piss me off otherwise. Like,
Yeah.
I just like the extension of the
It's
hand.
beautiful,
Especially
eh?
when
I know.
when I dance, like it just feels nice. But
Yeah, I might get into that. Damn, Caetlyn. It's very exciting to interview you here
thanks for
today.
having me, man.
How'd you get into dancing and stuff?
Oh God. I started dancing when I was like 3. Like my mum just chucked me in ballet, like, you know,
Yeah.
all little girls kind of
Hot.
do. Did more than just like kids ballet classes as I got older. Started doing a little jazz, a little tap, which I hated. I feel like in general, my timing with dance and like finding classes and my training and all that kind of stuff has just been really, like I've been really lucky with my timing. And so when I was 11, there was like a whole lot of international teachers that were here. And so I started learning from like Tony and Lee Daniel and like people that were touring and all that kind of stuff at the time. And so, yeah, I was super young, getting like really good training. And then when I was 15, I went to LA for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, my
Young.
parents are epic. My parents have always been like mad supportive. So my mum took me overseas. And then I spent 3 weeks there. And I just trained. I took like 5 classes a day
Wow,
and like trained my ass
cool.
off. Yeah. Last 2 years of school, I quit school and I did full time at DLDC in Brisbane.
Yeah.
I think we had like one like hip hop class or like choreography class. But other than that, it was like ballet, jazz, contemporary, musical theatre. We did cabaret. We did singing, acting, all that for like 2 years. That was that. And then from there, I just started traveling my ass off.
How
About
old
it.
are you?
26.
True.
How old are you?
24.
Yeah, mad.
Damn. God, you're good.
Thanks, man.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah, it was massive.
Yeah.
Crazy. Really cool. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It was like a challenge on Instagram, like that Dance with Janet challenge.
Yeah, and you just like danced underneath your what's it called?
Yeah, it was like
that
outside,
spinning
like
clothesline.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a clothesline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a special name. I forget what it's called.
I don't know either. What was I saying?
You're dancing
Yeah, so I did
under the clothesline.
I did that. I like submitted it like the last day. I remember Gil, who is Janet's like overall creative director, forever dancer, type thing, like part of her team started following me, and I was like, oh my God, maybe I've got it. Like maybe I'm going to dance for Janet, and then heard nothing for ages. And I was like, oh, and then people won, and I was like, oh, that's that cool. Whatevs. Anyway, and then he messaged me on Instagram one day, like, can I call you, or like something like that. And I shat myself, like, I was like, oh my God. And then he full FaceTimed me, and just like the most chill conversation for him. Like he's probably done that a million times, but he was like, we're putting together this show and I'd love you to choreograph like 2 numbers.
Wow.
And I was like crying, but like trying to stay professional and like, you know, that's cool kind of thing.
Wow. Was that even what the comp was?
No.
Yeah,
it was to
that's
dance,
mad.
like, yeah, insane. Like it was crazy. And then he suggested I do That's the Way Love Goes, and I like freaked out because that's just one of the most like iconic Janet songs ever. Got Till It's Gone was approved straight away, and then That's the Way Love Goes. I was so in my head about it. Like I had like 50 different versions, and I just like, I was like, this has to be, you know, epic, you know, to do the track justice. And I was like, it can't be anything less than like amazing. Sent it through, and he sent back, just do you. Like, that's why I've hired you. Like, I just want you to do what you do. And I was like, okay. So I had to do it all again.
Wow.
Yeah, which was really sick because I've heard so many stories. And, like, normally on jobs, like, you have to fit a criteria or a box. And Gil literally was like, we want you to do what you do. Yeah, I was so lucky. Like, watching how she treats her team was, like, really inspiring. I'm like, you're the most humble and like nicest person ever.
So cool.
Yeah. Like every time she
talk to her much?
Yeah, not really. Like she was like in and out of the room the whole time. I remember the first time I saw her, I was mid teaching, and she was like standing in the doorway, and I just like went red, like hot. And my friend was like, breathe. And I was like, no, I can't. Like she's right there. But every time she'd come into the studio, like she'd say hi to someone, she'd talk to someone, she'd like around with the dancers, like she was all just like, she was super friendly to everyone. And then when we had finished, no. So I just stood to the side and let the dancers do it. And then Gil was like, okay, your turn. And I was like, what? No, like I was so tired. Like my body was ruined. And but I danced them both for her.
Wow.
And she was just like in the front, she was just sitting there in this little beanbag, and she was like loving life. Like she was just smiling, and it was so nice. And then she fully like waited to say thank you at the end. Like she really didn't have to do that. Cool. But I said thank you to all the dancers, and then she was just waiting there to like hug me, and it was really, really sweet. Yeah, I'm really happy that, you know, things have gone this way because I get to do that. Yeah. I mean, Goddess and Janet are probably 2 of the biggest things I've ever done ever. And Goddess was like, it's so weird. I didn't even know what the show was going to be about until it got to the end. And then everything just like made sense, you know. It felt like something took over my body and just like did it. And it was also like the cast was just the most epic group of people ever, you know. They were just so amazing. And so it just turned into this, I don't know, this thing. I don't know, like we were in a whole different world for like 2 months. Like we just, nothing existed. They were like my family and my everything for like 2 months. And then when it ended, there was a full like withdrawal period, and it was like kind of traumatizing, like leaving that. It's huge. It's really
you're
difficult.
Also like not home much, eh?
Yeah, nah. So yeah, that was full on.
So how's it been back for the Rona?
Interesting, but ultimately, like I had been asking like for time to rest. I don't really ever let myself like have downtime. My own issues, but like it was really nice to like, you know, be forced to properly rest, and then on top of that have time to create that I want to create. Like doing did you see the vid?
I was gonna ask you about that.
It was so much fun, like, and I just I've been craving proper time, and I could have made time for myself, but I'm a workaholic, so could have made time to do that, but this year just literally gave me all of that. Cool.
Did you have plans? What were your plans?
I was meant to be traveling all year again.
Wow. Just like teaching stuff.
And I mean, I love teaching. I love it so much, but it's like really exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because like you know, I'm so grateful to go all these places, but I was thinking the other day, I've been to 29 countries and so many of them I have no recollection.
Yeah.
Or like
right.
I'd never had an experience of the place that I was in. I was just
Right.
teaching, hotel, airport, out.
Yeah.
And like you're just like swarmed by beautiful people, but like, you know, energy wise, it's so draining. You know, the organizers want to take you around and show you the place sometimes, which I love, and I never want to miss out on that, but sometimes I literally just want to be in a room by myself and not talk.
And it's such an outward energy as well, when it's like all these people that don't really know
fully
you, they're not your mates and stuff, so you gotta like
it gets like, you know, it's weird to say because you're, you know, surrounded by people, but it gets really lonely doing that alone. I've made so many incredible friends overseas, and normally, you know, we'll be teaching at the same camps or whatever together, so I get to be around like my people somewhere. But
that's cool.
Yeah, the first couple of years it was super lonely, and it was like really depressing because I was like, I want this, like why am I not happy,
and you feel like you have to be grateful as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, be positive and blah blah blah. And a lot of the time, like what I was feeling was like completely, I guess, like I would bypass it with this like positive bullshit in my head, like I have to feel grateful, like you said, I have to feel this and this and this, but ultimately I just feel like, oops, I just want to be home, see my family, you know, get a good rest. Ultimately I am really grateful, like it's been amazing. I'm so lucky. But yes, it's a full-on job.
My favorite video dance you've done is probably the is it called Holding the Gun? This dude who like just melts my brain.
It's
how he dances.
Unreal. I was so emotional watching him.
I can see how like intense that class.
Oh my god, it was so weird though, like because when I made that piece up I was like, oh, this is kind of boring, like it's really like slow paced and there's not much, I didn't feel like it had much like, I don't know, body or like depth. And then that I taught that in Korea, and this dude, like I found out that he used to teach constantly, like everywhere, you know, like he was like one of those studio teachers, and then he just quit everything and disappeared for a year and practiced like freestyling and then came back dancing like that.
Right.
Like he's unreal. I've never seen anyone move like him. Ever.
Mad.
So sick. That's one of the perks of traveling everywhere, is you just get to experience so much like talent. Like it's overwhelming sometimes. You're like, how do you exist? You know?
I'd imagine that one of those classes like that, I mean, not all of them are on film or whatever, but like I can see at the end that you're like starting to cry. And I was thinking that must be like, that's like peak career kind of, or peak life moment, you know? That I guess not many people get to experience. Like do you have one in your brain that was like the absolute top of that feeling?
There's an event called Take Flight in Dublin. My friend Kerry runs it, and I don't know, the energy there is just something I have never, and I don't think I will ever experience it anywhere else. Like, because it's her and her team of epic individuals that they just attract the most beautiful group of people, and the way she, you know, schedules everything and plans everything out, and like, you know, the teachers that she brings, it's next level. It's like you need a week or two afterwards to just like process everything you felt. It's crazy.
This is a question for all the people out there that would like to know like what it feels like to move your body for you. like what are you thinking about, and what are all your influences?
I used to really overthink, because I grew up in studios, so like structure and perfection and doing things the right way was always in the back of my head, you know, up until like 2-3 years ago. You know, have to be clean, have to look a certain way. And then the more I was introduced to freestyle and the freestyle community and the way they interpret music and their perspectives on movement. Yeah, it was just a really freeing experience. So I don't know, once I kind of let go of my own expectations, then I don't know, I felt like I evolved a little bit. And so now it just feels, I don't know, it feels epic.
Nice.
Yeah. A lot of the time I just don't really see much.
Would you want to battle?
I really want to. I'm just like petrified.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really want to. I really love freestyling, and I have so much respect for freestylers, and the community here especially is huge.
Yeah.
Like there's so many talented movers. I just like, I don't know. I'm intimidated. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's so funny. Do you have any advice for like young cats that want to like, you know, dance or be like you?
Oh my God, please don't. The one thing I would maybe say is just like follow what makes you feel good and not what you think you should be doing. You know, there's a lot of people that go on this path, I feel, that, you know, think that they should be looking a kind of way because it's working for someone else or because it's popular, and they'll be, you know, more accepted because they're doing that whatever is going on through their head, you know. I don't know, I feel like the most epic, you know, dancers and teachers and whatever, or whoever you look up to, didn't mimic something that already is, you know. It's kind of pointless, you know. You want to be recognized as a performer or an artist or a creative, but you're not willing to step out and try something different. So you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So
word. And that's like exactly why you got somewhere, you know.
I never wanted to like conform. I also just have a mad issue with authority. You're trying to put me in a box with, you know, millions of other people who are trying to do the same thing. It just didn't feel right.
Well, how does it feel to see people that like are dressing and moving like that meme that is about you that says everyone trying to copy you?
The dressing has been strange, but ultimately they're just clothes and like just, you know.
The dressing has been strange.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. That's been strange, you know. It's just kind of weird, but you know, with the dance side of things, like ultimately everything's recycled somewhere or another, you know. So my movement, or like, you know, what I do has just been inspired by things that already exist. It's just kind of, you know, all been mushed together. So it's not really mine. But, you know, I've been dancing for like 20 plus years, you know, and I've trained my ass off to get to a certain place. So although, you know, there's an element of like flattery, at the same time, sometimes it feels a little like stealing. Yeah. Just because like what I do is like it's super authentic to me. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And so trying to see it as authentic to someone else, it doesn't feel right. I'm like, do you even know? Like and it's not just like the dance or like my training. Like there's a whole lot of life that goes into my body and the way I move. So I'm like, you can't have experienced the same life as me. So why are you moving like that? You know what I mean? But I can't do really. It just is what it is. I definitely got to this point where I felt as though I had to reinvent myself because there was just so much. I was like bored of myself because I was seeing it everywhere.
Wow, crazy.
So yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's the funny thing about it, and that it's so transparent, you know, because no one is ever going to dance like you, and so it's always going to be like subpar, and even if it's like almost as good, it's not going to be as good. Right. And that's why it's funny. But
that's why I'm like, just do you. Like I love that I've maybe influenced people, or that maybe people are inspired by what I do, but then you just have to do the work. It's also like there's an element of like laziness in copying someone or like studying them to a point where you start to take on their identity. It's lazy. Do you know what I mean? Like do the work to actually get somewhere or to be recognized as your own artist, because it's
long-term goals and dreams.
Oh Jesus, I really don't think too far ahead, to be honest. I just want to keep creating. I really want to do more creative projects, or like get hired to do creative projects and not just teach. Like I love teaching, but it's very limiting. I'd love to do more of that stuff, and I really enjoy creating on stage. Like I'd love to do more stage stuff. Yeah, I'm still experimenting with like film and lighting and, you know, direction and all that kind of stuff, but stage I feel really comfy in.
Yeah. It'd be wild to see you make a piece on like a big ballet company.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Yeah. We didn't talk about ballet. How much ballet did you do? A lot, right?
Yeah, I did ballet for ages. It's so weird though, like how, you know, once you stop training in something, like it just kind of, it hasn't left my body, but I just, it's so foreign to me now again.
Yeah. It is. Oops. I've got like so much coffee and hungover. It's definitely there in your movement though. Like
I feel it.
Arms and
I feel
shapes.
like 100%. I feel it in my arms and like my hands when I dance. Like, I don't know, ballet is just such an epic foundation, or like, it's just so epic to have the discipline from that art form in your body. Like it just changes so much. And every different genre of dance would enhance you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But having ballet is just
Someone asked me the other day, do you know if Caetlyn Watson would you call her a contemporary dancer? What do you label yourself?
It's definitely not contemporary. Like contemporary has so much technique that I have no idea about. Right. And I haven't trained in contemporary. Like
really?
I've done like classes, and I did full time, but I don't remember learning contemporary. True. Like my memory is also really bad. There's so many gaps in my timeline, but like I'd never trained in contemporary. But I had this conversation actually because I was teaching at a event with Brian Green, a pioneer of house. He was like, so what are you teaching? This is like the first time that I met him, and he's kind of old. He's like in his 40s. And I just froze, and I was like, I don't know how to describe what I do. Like, what do I do? I don't know. And I was like, it's kind of just, you know, like a fusion of everything. He was like, oh, so interpretive. And I was like, oh, cool. I never thought of that.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Because I've tried to like put myself in different, you know, under different titles, and I just never, it's definitely not hip hop. It's not contemporary. It's not ballet. It's not, you know, interpretive feels like the best way to describe it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Has there ever been like a setback, like a time where you were thinking of quitting or anything like that?
I've thought of quitting so many times.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I've realized that has more to do with the social aspect of dance than dance itself. It's slowly, the scene and the expectation as a dancer or a creative is like slowly evolving or like lessening, but ultimately like you just are taught to put so much pressure on yourself and expect so much from yourself, and like I just found that really toxic.
Yeah.
As I get older especially, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, you know, the way we treat each other and the way we talk about each other and the shit that we expect ourselves to like do, it's just like, I feel it most when I go home and I talk to like my brother, who's like the most Aussie, like typical surfer dude who has like no worries in the world. Like he's just the best person ever. And I go and like talk to him about this. He was like, oh man, your world is so weird. Like, I'm like, I know. Oops. Like, and it's only till you take a step out that you're like, oops, this is not like healthy, you know, or normal. I feel like if I didn't, I mean, might be a huge call because it would probably happen anyway. Like if I didn't grow up in dance, I wouldn't have half of the, you know, self-talk, self-doubt, self-whatever issues that I do.
Yeah. Wow, that's huge, man.
Yeah.
Hard.
Especially in studios.
Yeah.
lose weight or you're not going to get a job. That's also one thing I did want to say is like the full-time culture here is so huge. Like there's so many dancers doing full-time a year. And I just like don't know how many places are actually doing proper work for these students to like set them up. Like one thing that I just never really understood is, you know, half of these people that are going in to train ultimately want to do like tours and like travel and like, you know, dance for artists, and all they're learning is jazz and ballet. And half of the tours that you're going to audition for, you need some kind of like street style training or like hip hop choreography or choreography training. And it's not really offered to people at any kind of level. It's like, you know, these dancers are paying so much money to learn, and I feel like, I don't know, a lot of studios are just putting any teacher in place to fill the spot. Learning street styles has, you know, taught me so much about my body and teaches you so much about style and developing style and musicality and connection with the music, and there's so many things that it can enhance.
Is there anything you want to talk about or like say, you know?
Not really.
Okay. Do you spend much time like reflecting on everything you've achieved?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I have a hard drive where I've saved almost every class or anything that's been filmed.
Wow.
Dance-wise. So everything's like in like categories and like years, and it's all like I'm a nutcase. But I like to, you know, go back through my timeline and like watch everything that's happened. And like it's cool just like for yourself to like watch, you know, your evolution.
Thanks so much for coming in. Heaps
of course.
keen. So yeah, this is the end. Thanks, man.
Thank you for having me.
Sick.
You're a legend.
Thank you for listening to episode 26 of the Dance Bants Show. Just wanted to give a little end of the year PSA. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, or whatever else you might celebrate. If you're here listening to this, congratulations on surviving 2020. It was certainly a very rogue year, but we're here and that's cool. And we're going to keep going. And it's still very difficult. For any who's, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone that has supported and given me your feedback. Every single 9 of you. I reckon 2020 was for testing the waters, and next year I'm going to push harder, try and get an episode out every single week, and try and work out how to make this more like a podcast for the people, you know, get a bit more audience participation going on. Speaking of audience participation, however, it'd be dope if you could give this a review or subscribe on YouTube if you haven't, and catch up on the episodes that you missed. Recommend it to a friend, or none of that, and do what you want with your life, because that's what this is all about. Finally, I'd love to hear your feedback and ideas and things that you want me to create with this platform. Yeah, that's all. Sending you in particular, dear listener, all my love. I hope that you're surrounded by people and things that make you happy. And that's it. See ya.